Hey everyone, it's Chaos here, and I'm with Chives. I'm on a little bit of a roll today. She's still in her Christmas outfit. I haven't changed my dolls yet. I haven't had time. Well, other than two. I've managed to change, but for the rest, haven't had time. Oh, sorry about the lighting in advance because the lighting was better literally 20 minutes ago, and now it's just all dark and there's nothing I can really do. I'm always chasing the light. In the winter, it's always never really bright. It's just this color, this like palish, dark color. The clouds are always dark because it could snow at any minute. So, yeah, it's never truly bright at this time. So, yeah, the bear. And there she is, kind of close up. So, yes, this is Chives. You guys may remember from my opening, she's my trade dolly. And I totally forgot that I didn't do a little bio on her, because I already knew who she was, because I've had the character for a while. She was supposed to originally be a minifee Rhea. I think that's how you pronounce it. Or is it Raya? I say Rhea. And that was supposed to be the original sculpt, but when I got offered the trade and I saw her, I'm like, I really want this doll. And I'm like, oh, she's also the same sculpt as Camille, which would work out because they are sisters, or half-sisters, so it makes sense if they have similar features, then instead of not looking alike at all. So, ta-da, she ended up being Chives. So, her backstory isn't really long or complicated. I'm going to answer the general questions that I think people would want to know. So, her name is Chives Potts. Potts because she shares the same last name as Camille. They didn't originally have that last name, Potts. They got it when they were in the orphanage and they found out that, oh, these are sisters. So, last name Potts. Their original last names were Korean because they share a father and their father is Korean. Let's see. So, she is 19 years old, so she's younger than Camille. Camille's like in her 20s. In the beginning of the story, Camille is 18, but by the end of it, she's a lot older. I don't know how much older. I'd have to count back between when all the events happen. But I'm going to say for right now that Chives is 19. Her sexual orientation is straight. She doesn't have a permanent home because she is a singer. So she goes on tour and stuff all the time. She does not have a permanent home. She's always on the road. And as she said, her occupation is singer. She's in Little Arakai. I've mentioned it once, how she's collecting people who remind her of her past friends, because she feels like their souls have been reincarnated into other people, and she's looking to find them and collect them. So for this friend, she just has an attraction to Chives. Yeah, she just has an attraction to Chives. I don't know why exactly yet, and I don't know the exact, I do know how they met, but she does feel something for Chives. So that's how Chives got into it. Well, not exactly. I'm going to explain how she got into the group called the Gala. She is 5'1" in people height, so she's very short. Her and Camille are short. She does have a sister, Camille, as I mentioned. If she's with anyone at the moment, she just hooks up with basically any guys that she likes. She can have her choose. Because, yeah, singers usually, there's guys and girls throwing themselves at celebrities all the time, so she can have basically any guy who's offering. But she is getting in trouble because she is sleeping with Tristan and are kind of in a relationship. It's complicated with Tristan, but as we know from a long, long time ago, well, if you've been here a long, long time ago, that Tristan is dating Naya. So that is some trouble, and the whole like hookup on my lap pad, if you guys want to know what it is, just let me know, because I put a little thing where it's like Tristan cheats. I didn't post it on my Instagram because there is like sexual content, so I feel like my Instagram is more PG, like even if they're swearing I like blurb it out, so that's why I didn't post it there. Let's see. Anything that she does secretly, one thing she does is she secretly roasts herself. That's how she gets inspiration for her songs. She'll like look in the mirror and like roast herself. She'll be like, oh, that's a good one, I'm gonna put that in my music. And act like it's not directed to me, but it actually is. Yeah, she's really weird like that. And let's see. She really likes to do, when she does get spare time, she likes to go shopping. She loves to shop. And I think those are the main types. When it comes to her music, if you're curious about what her music sounds like, since each of my characters have different genres and who they sound like and stuff, if you know who Melanie Martinez is, I can imagine, like, not her exact voice is what she sounds like, but like how she does her music, how it's just like so sweet sounding, but like she's not actually saying sweet things in the songs type. I don't know if there's a specific genre for that, but that's how her music style is. And then for her actual little story, so just like Camille, Chives was born in a concentration camp. For Camille, she was still in the womb when they got taken in, and the reason why was because her dad's Korean and there was a war between North Korea and America, so her dad was taken and her family to suspicion to the concentration camp, even though they weren't doing anything. Unfair, I know. But they like split up families and stuff like that. Camille got to stay with her mother for a while because her mom was pregnant and she had the baby and she was like breastfeeding and all that stuff. So she got to stay with her mom for a while. But her dad got taken off, and even though I'm talking mostly about Camille, it's just because so you guys get an idea, because she wasn't born yet when the original stuff happened. Camille only got to see her dad like every once in a blue moon. But yeah, he was off in a whole completely different section, and he met this woman, and I guess they kind of had like a little romance, what romance they could have. They couldn't really have anything, but it was just little, very, very little. I guess basically it was like, I like you, you like me type thing. But we didn't get to go further on that. So yeah, as a result, Chives was born. She had zero knowledge of Camille when she was a kid, and she didn't live in the concentration camp as long as Camille. They were rescued, but she didn't know of her father, and she doesn't really remember her mom that much. She remembers her. She was maybe like 3 or 4 when she got taken out of the camp, maybe a bit older. But, yeah, because Camille was really young when she was taken. She was very young, too. But Camille remembers more. So, they were both put in the same orphanage, and, of course, once they found out through similarities, they're like, you guys might be sisters. And I guess they were able, since Camille was older, she could say more about stuff, that somehow they figured out there was a connection. So that's how they both got the same last name. And the two were inseparable, of course, and they're best friends, and they were just together type, but then that one day Camille left on her birthday because she got that mystery-free cruise, and when she got there, to the island, she fell in love, and she didn't come back, And Chives was just very angry. She was angry. She just had balls and balls of frustration, and she felt abandoned. And even though there's other kids who are kind of like siblings for them in a family, she just felt very angry still. She just never felt loved enough. So her outlet that she went to was music, because hitting people was not working out. She was going to get thrown out, or not thrown out, but she was going to get transferred to another home for like very troubled kids. Or that, yeah. So she didn't want to get transferred. She wanted to stay where she was at, just in case her sister would come back. She wanted to stay there. So she just sang, and she would rap to get out her emotions. And she never was discovered or anything like that. She was always under the radar. The only people who knew about her singing and rapping were the people who lived with her. And she didn't think that her, like, anything would ever happen with singing and rapping. That's just what she did for fun. And then there were the Dragon Wars, and the orphanage was destroyed, and everyone was scattered. Then to flee. If you see a giant fireball coming, everyone's just gonna run. They didn't really have an escape plan meeting spot for in a case a dragon war happens. They have regular fire drill procedure, but not that. So most of them got split up, and some of them died and all that. So Chives was left to fend for herself, basically, and she hung around the destroyed orphanage because she didn't know where else to go. She didn't want to go too far. She just she didn't know where else to go, and she didn't want to go too far, just in case someone that she recognizes and knows did come back there. So she stayed around there, as I said. And Camille, there's a bunch of stuff that happens in Camille's story that makes her come back home, and she comes back to the orphanage, and she finds Chives. So at first, since Chives was really angry with her, the two physically fought when they saw each other. Chives was just so angry, and she didn't want to see her, but Camille wouldn't leave, so they were literally fist fighting. And but Camille was the only one there, so Chives eventually just let her stay around because she was lonely, just fending for herself, and everything's kind of scary because they know what's going on. There's just dragons everywhere, and Camille lived on an island for a couple years at this point, so Camille knows how to survive with like the bare necessities, and knows how to make fires. Even though Chives has figured out how to make fires and stuff, Camille knows how to make better fires, and she knows how to. Chives knows what food she can eat, but Camille knows more foods that she can eat. So having Camille around was a benefit for her. So eventually Chives forgave Camille, and when the war was over, Camille hooked up Chives with Arakai, because whenever they used to go to a grave site, Chives would sing, and she's like, wow, you really have talent. So after that, Chives met with Arakai, and Arakai already had Dorothy, her first member, and they went from there. She rode along on the path to fame with them, and when she was already famous, that's when she managed to meet Tristan and get into trouble. Let's see if there's anything else I wrote here. That was it. So, yeah, she's just now a singer in a group gala, and she's living the life that she never thought she'd have. So, that was it, and thanks for listening. If you have any other questions, I know some stuff is kind of like blurry just because some things I didn't develop super far. It was just vague when I came along with it, or came up with it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.